Hi guys, it's Jill here, and I bet you clicked on this video because you want to know, how do you use essential oils for fevers? You hear a lot about essential oils, but you know they need to be used safely, and you want to know what essential oil is effective for fevers. And I've had some experience with that, so I thought I would share real quick how I use an essential oil for fevers. The essential oil that I use is peppermint. Now, peppermint is a very strong oil. You don't want to use it on babies, and under the age of 6 you want to make sure you keep it away from the face. Now, some people don't believe you should use peppermint on a child under 6 at all. My herbal reference book says just to keep it away from the face. So like I said, I would not use it on infants, but if the child's under 6, you'll have to do your own research on whether or not you use it at all. But you do want to keep it away from the face if they're under 6, because it's such a strong oil that sometimes it can, kind of give them some respiratory problems if they're too young to handle peppermint oil. None of my children are under 6, so right now I do not have to worry about whether or not I use peppermint oil on them. What I do is I take some olive oil. Now, the olive oil that I have here is it's unfiltered, first cold press, organic extra virgin olive oil. It's the best type of olive oil that I know of. You do not have to use this kind of olive oil. Use what you have, but use some kind of carrier oil with peppermint oil because it is such a strong oil. What you do is you take just 1 teaspoon of this. I would put it in a glass bowl, and then mix about 2 drops of this per teaspoon of a carrier oil. Just stir it up, and you would take that oil, and you can, the way I do it is I either place it on the back of the neck and the bottoms of the feet, or I apply it down along the spine. Every time I've used peppermint oil for fevers, it has worked. Within 30 minutes, the fever is reduced, so the child's comfortable, they can sleep, they're not so achy. This is also really good to use for the flu, to help those aches and pains. And I recently used it on one of my children that had a fever, and she was able to sleep all night because her fever was reduced enough so that she could sleep and be comfortable. Now, it didn't completely break her fever because we want the fever there to help fight and kill that virus or bacteria or whatever they're dealing with. So fevers are not bad, but we don't want them to get too high, and we don't want our child or our patient to be so uncomfortable they can't sleep and they're miserable. We just don't want that. It just hurts our hearts, and I understand how that feels. So what peppermint essential oil does is it helps reduce it to a comfortable level so that fever can still fight whatever they're dealing with, and yet it is going to be at a more comfortable level. Now, I have had people tell me they use lemon oil instead of peppermint because lemon oil is a little bit more mild. So I gave it a try, and I even wrote about it on my blog, about trying the lemon oil sometime, because I wrote about peppermint oil on my website for fevers. And someone said, well, I use lemon oil, that's a little bit milder. Let me tell you, I tried that with this past sickness my child had, and it did not work for us. It did not. I tried it. It did not reduce her fever where she was comfortable. So I waited, and then I used peppermint essential oil, and it worked its charm. It was so, in my experience, the lemon oil did not work. I'm not saying it won't work for everyone, and maybe at a younger age it would, but it just did not work for us. So the oil that I use is peppermint oil, and like I said, do your research. See, if they're over 6, there's definitely no problem. If they're under 6, I've had no problems as long as I kept it away from the face, but as I want to repeat, do not use it on an infant or a young baby. I would not do that. So I'm going to put a link down in the comments to give you more information. You can print out a recipe on my website and stick it in your herbal book, or stick it where it's handy so you can remember which essential oil, how much to use, how much to dilute it. I will put that down in the comments, or in the description area. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll talk to you later.